Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai. We come to Satsang to, presumably, to meet the self. The recognition of the self, whether you call it recognition, realization, is about the self. So how would we meet ourselves? Maybe it's important first to experiment with how do we meet another. So how do you meet another? Before you can meet another, what all has to be there? Yeah? There have to be two. Means you have to be there and the other has to be there. And how will you confirm that another is there?
Experience here. Whatever experience you may feel.
Okay, so let's break it down. What do we mean by experience?
Sensory.
Perception, sensory input. We perceive the seeming other. So in this way we can meet all sorts of other objects. Is there something which is not an object that we can meet through the senses? And this is important because many are trying to meet themselves as an object, at least as an objective experience, if not an object itself. But you already said that before I can meet anything at all, I have to be there. So this I, what sort of meeting would this be? If to meet another, you need perception, you need objects. How would you meet yourself? And that is why, yeah. So that is why satsang is like a strange place. Everywhere else you go, you will be given instructions about how to meet that which you are looking for. Isn't it? If you go to a travel agent, he will tell you what visa you need to go to America. Well, these are the steps. Get into the plane, you land in America. Now in satsang, presumably we are giving instructions on how to meet yourself. And I'm also telling you that this is the simplest thing. Because at least to go to America, you need visa. To meet yourself, you have no condition. So in what way can we meet ourselves?
Being ourselves.
Yeah?
By just being yourself.
By just being yourself. But is there an option like be yourself or
You can't meet yourself.
yeah, can't. So the meeting itself, the concept of meeting itself falls away. Yeah? Now, that is true. But somehow it has seemed like we need satsang to meet ourselves. Therefore, we must be presuming that we have been meeting or being somebody else so far or something else so far. So The self has nothing to meet. The concept of meeting falls away. But presumably, one Sumaher started the spiritual journey with the aspiration to meet the self. The cat undertook this journey wanting that ultimate bowl of milk. So the clue is there that perceptually, through perception, you can only meet an object. And you know very well by now that you are not an object. So besides perception, what else do you have?
Intellect.
Yeah.
Reason.
Yes, so you can reason. Yes. Yes. So using reason, okay? So perception, concepts, and sort of deeper sort of concepts is this intellectual reasoning. Now, can you meet yourself using one of these?
Thought so, but I know.
So using perception, you see that you only meet objects. Using concepts, you can only pick up ideas about yourself. And using reasoning, you can deny all that is not you. Or you can deny what is not your ultimate reality with just an appearance. So you can use reason and say, not this, because this is changing. Not this, because this is changing. Not this. This is reason. What does the edge of reason bring you? And you run out of reason also, where you can't even say, not this.
So being aware of it, the awareness of everything, the awareness of the reason or all perception.
Yes. So if you come to this awareness, is there a you left who's coming to awareness?
No.
What is left?
Just awareness.
Just awareness. And yet, you are still there, but not the you that you thought yourself to be. So what is the more, when Guruji says the most intimate you, let's say the most unchanging you. What is the most unchanging you?
The knowing itself.
This itself, this awareness or this knowingness itself. How is this? How did you come to this? Did you have to use your perception? Did you have to use any concept? Did you have to come to an intellectual conclusion? Therefore, whether you take steps or you don't take steps, whether there is practice or no practice, can you ever be anything which is not this? Is this a mental conclusion? Mental conclusion or insight?
It's more than, I mean, it begins as that.
Yes.
Conclusion.
What is it reliant on? In the sense that if I say, outside this building there is airport road. Is it? Now, for some, maybe if a child is born in this building and only lived and never stepped outside, then it will only come from a conclusion that the parents told. Saying, oh, there's an airport road outside of this. But once you stepped out, there's a deeper than conceptual, there's a perceptual experience. Now, we are talking about that which is deeper than even perceptual knowing. That which knows all perception. That which is aware of even perception.
takes satsang to make us recognize. It makes, like, I need to come to satsang or whatever may bring me here. We think to that step.
Yes, as long as, why does it feel like that? Is because in this one, who was the I? And you say, I needed to come to satsang to see this.
It was the self or whatever you, I mean, which had confused itself in science. And it needed, like you said, not an experiential or logical experience, although you did that, but it needed me to look at you and to that one thing which was not experiential, but not experiential in that phenomenon. Otherwise, it would be like sitting in that room and never going out. You are that as one.
So, did you come to a place of, from a place of not meeting yourself to a place of meeting yourself because you came to satsang? Or did you realize that you have only ever met yourself? You're not audible, sir.
Sorry. I realized that this you, which is being, this me who I've always been, that nothing has changed, like in my beingness. There isn't being replaced by something else.
Yes.
But it's the notion which the cathood has kind of dissolved, which can come back, but it's known now that because you made me experience something about who I am.
Yes.
In a very powerful way, or in a very way in which you can't deny what you've actually seen. In.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I used to keep thinking that I would find myself in an objective way,
Yes.
or even an objective experience.
Yes.
And then something, all the satsangs just saying, no, but this is the same you. It's
Yes.
you I'm talking about, not something else. The
Yes.
same you
Yes.
who's here now.
Yes.
And that, like the cow jumping over the moon and all the analogies which you have given us. The cutting line was where you said, it's not the mind, it can't, the answer can't come from that mind. And then you do that.
So, the cathood, as you say, or the false notion about ourselves doesn't get beliefs, and that is what we call dissolve. Isn't it?
Doesn't get?
Get believed.
Yeah.
So that is what we call dissolve. The notion gets dissolved. You see? But it was just a notion.
Yeah.
But what were you always?
It was always this awareness, consciousness. Yes.
Yeah.
Always. And that presence which when I say you and the cathode is the first one which pops up through by me, the presence, which now is it's quite empty of notions of what I was or will be or whatever. And then it seems to be like a mental step, but it brings you back to a faster being.
And that which you discovered about yourself, or you are discovering about yourself, is that discovery, what is the qualitative nature of that discovery? Does it look like something? Does it feel like something? The discovery itself, the recognition itself, not the byproducts.
Now,
Doesn't look like anything. Does it have to feel like something?
now, doesn't happen to feel accepting the knowingness.
Yes. And this is the part which is so important, which all of you are recognizing now. Keep looking for some benchmark to freedom. That something physically has to change, something emotionally has to change, something at some level has to change for me to find myself. What if your very existence, your very being has always been the existence of God? If it has always been the only being there is, but somehow, as part of some strange play, some leela, we have taken this existence to be the existence of something smaller, something tinier, something limited. It's not a what if actually, it just is. So, this being, this consciousness, playing as if it is limited, and then trying to find this great being is very convoluted. But this being, which is just naturally, effortlessly here, coming to this recognition that this I am actually is all there is. And I am aware of even this. You see? So let's use a metaphor. If you're trying to lose weight, but you're eating one samosa, one pizza, huh, whatever works for you, wherever you are, every minute. Then you say, but why am I not losing weight? You see? This is like how God pretending to be the person trying to find God. Because every minute, consciousness, God is believing a notion about himself, herself, including the notion of trying to find God. Now, the good part of this story is that you are at your perfect weight already. The perfect being, the most enlightened ever, is already your being. Are you still going to play with masks? That is your will, the will of consciousness itself. And because you have this ultimate freedom to pretend to be whatever you like, that's why this play can seem to go on, but can never be without you picking up this mask. And when I speak of the play, I'm not speaking about the appearance of this universe. I'm speaking of the play where you pose as if you are just this body-mind entity. In this moment, right now, nobody has a mask on. Is it? This is the second great piece of great news. First is that you are already God, or God is your very existence. And second is that in this very moment, there is no mask of ego that you have to get rid of. What greater gift can I give you? The only gift I have is this good news. How to meet this God? Unavoidable. How to meet this God is unavoidable because you exist. Your existence is here and you are aware of this. This existence is the very one, the one being, which has been misunderstood as part of this lila, part of this play to be something just with boundaries, with birth, with depth. But you are beyond all these. So as you meet yourself in this way, don't take your samosa along. Don't meet yourself with interpretation, with judgment. This is the true openness. This is the nakedness that we speak of in Satsang. Does this mean that the mind has to stop? No. It can come and it can go. It will give you all these offers. Buy one, get one free. One samosa, you get one, or three, or 10. The offers will keep changing. Just allow these offers to come and go. So if you feel like you have to do something, then this is all that you have to do. Because in this doing itself, the so-called seeming doing of this, the concept of doership itself will get extinguished. Remain in the simple awareness of your very existence without any interpretation. To have the darshan of your own Atma is the simplest thing in the world. In fact, you can never not have it. But it is these concepts about it, the interpretation of it, it makes it seem like you are experiencing yourself as something limited. As you allow yourself to remain motionless, you'll find that this truth, your unlimited existence, and that which is even beyond I am, is completely apparent to you. Now, Some of you are mistaking notionlessness with motionlessness. Just one alphabet change. Motionlessness does not mean motionlessness. The world of activity, the realm of movement can continue to appear with all its movement, with people, events, body sensations, feelings, thoughts, all these apparent activities can continue to move. But as long as you remain motionless, as long as you remain motionless, you will see that you are this truth. Nothing could be more apparent. Before you believe the next idea about yourself, you are already the self. But what you will believe once you believe the idea about yourself is a notion of limitation, is an idea of limitation. The other seeming error that many of you are making is looking at the movement of the outer shell, the coconut as I've been calling it, and saying that this coconut has to become or feel like or think like the ocean. What I've been saying is we are trying to fit this insight that we are having about ourselves, and we are trying to fit it into this body-mind contraption in some way. But that cannot happen. Okay? So, because the insight you're having about yourself is that you are much beyond this time and space, beyond this manifest universe. And this body-mind is just a tiny aspect of this manifest universe. So trying to fit that, which is not limited to these 3 dimensions anyway, 4 dimensions including space anyway, including time, is an impossibility. You are dimensionless. If I have a sheet of paper and I tell you, can you fill a bucket of water in this and bring? It's 2 dimensional. Your container is 3 dimensional. You cannot fill water in a sheet of paper. In the same way, this body is an object within time and space. You cannot fit the being, which is beyond all dimensions, into this. So this is just an aspect of this being. But if you say, oh, see, yesterday this happened to me, I did it like this, and you're again mistaking the coconut to be the ocean. So don't wait for the symptoms of your freedom to start appearing in the coconut. If they have to appear, they appear. That has nothing to do with your reality. So Dr. Saroj is here. Don't have to wait for the diagnostics of the coconut to confirm that timeless, spaceless being. I'm not telling you about something which is happening tomorrow or in the future. I'm not telling you about something that you have to find in this spatial world. When you recognize that you exist, the basis of this recognition, is it contained in time and space? This existence, you say, I am, is it subject to time or space? Already left the universe. You left the universe. In this moment of recognition, you are not in this phenomenal realm. Then you try to bring it back to this container, seeming container. So when we say, have I got it or not? Will people start recognizing me for the truth that I've discovered? Exactly. Why doesn't my family see that I'm free? This kind of thing. We're still talking about an identification with one aspect of the play. You are seeing that the entirety of the play is just the movement of light and sound that you yourself as the projector is making. You are the light of all things, not this body. Your light animates this entire universe, and the body is just one aspect of that. Your light animates the sun. There is no sun unless you are. So we have believed the mind's version of you, which is this limited version. But something has never felt at home completely with that version. Nobody ever completely feels at home with the idea of just being a body. That's why even those who come to Satsang, even those who don't come to Satsang, will say things like, I will rest only when I'm dead. Or I must have had this experience in my past life. Even those. When somebody passes away, much of the world says, may they rest in peace. But if they were just a body, who is left to rest in peace? So nobody has completely felt at home with just this notion of being the body. So I was just going to say some practical advice. If you're still very concerned about the life of the coconut, then you make a list of things that should happen for this shell. And make that list and put it in the altar of your heart or put it in the physical altar. For those of you with devotional temperament, is very simple. Just label it something for Guruji to do. There's this joke about marriages which I keep telling my wife. Once you've told a man what to do, he will get it done. You don't have to nag him every 6 months. Now, once you told Guruji what to do, he will get it done. Now, don't keep saying when, why. Are we there yet? And you'll be surprised actually, if you playfully do this exercise, you'll be surprised. You look at this list after a year or two. You will either find things where you'll say, thank you, Guruji, thank you so much for getting this done. Or you'll say, thank you, Guruji, thank God you didn't do this. There will rarely be anything left for which you say, oh, why didn't you get this done yet? In India, often we say this, that we end our prayers, we end our invocations with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Why do we emphasize this so much? As there is Shanti, and there is Shanti, and there is this peace. Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti is a prayer for peace. So you say, let there be peace, let there be peace, let there be peace. Because when there is peace, the truth of what you are is completely apparent. One time someone came to Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharishi and said, there's some desire. So he asked Bhagwan, can you please get this done for me? So Bhagwan said, here in this body, This body has nothing special to make anything happen for anyone. The being that you're finding here has got unlimited power. Which being was he speaking of? Was he speaking about some special being that only belonged to him? He was speaking of the only being there is. The very one whose perfume is your presence. So, simply remain with this knowingness of your existence, allowing all motions to come and go. And when motions do get picked up, because they will, then don't pick up more notions about why you picked up those notions. Don't pick up any guilt, unworthiness. It's all gone. In this moment, it's all gone. Don't get into any postmortems. Just start fresh. God is here. God now. Then you will find that your life is becoming more and more God now, and less meow, meow. Those who those who are new to Satsang must feel like this is pretty crazy. It comes from the Satsang where I was saying that every time you pick up this notion of me, the ow has to follow. Sometimes it might feel like there's some possibility that I can pick up a me and the ow doesn't come. But as long as we are carrying this belief in me, there will be a ow that shakes it out of us. That is the design of this creation. So whether you say I am, whether you say God, whether you say Sadguru, whether you say truth, self, the words don't matter. It is your insight about this. You're tasting your very presence. That you are aware. That you are aware. Is the antidote to meow. God does not need a me. Many times it can feel like, and Neil was asking for practical advice. God can do all the practical stuff. Even the practical advice, if I was to give you with the mask of personhood on to the mask, another mask of personhood, it is still God, the puppeteer, playing with these puppets, isn't it? Before we close, this reminded me that an important point is that God is not a position. God is not taking a position of satsang versus practical life. Many times we get this question in satsang. All this is fine for satsang, but what about the real world? These positions don't apply to God. It is still an idea of limitation that we have about ourselves, which makes this distinction. So, if we are meeting the world in this way, saying, no, I am just God, don't ask me for practical things, then that is also a limitation that we are believing about ourselves. God is believing about himself. Or if you're saying, no, I am very practical, I am not into God or something like that, that's also just a notion that God is picking up. That's why this positionlessness, motionlessness, and that's why I was saying earlier that motionlessness does not mean motionlessness. It does not mean motionfulness also. It means just empty of any position with regard to it. Activities can happen or not. Just notice this nature of the mind, how it just, when it hears something, it just believes, okay, so if I'm not the doer, then I'm meant not to do anything. You see, it just believes this position. So if I say motionlessness does not mean motionlessness, you can feel like, no, I have to go and live a full life or something. No, that's also a position. So the beautiful way to say it is to say, just remain in your effortless knowingness of your presence. Now allow all motions to come and go. And the simple way to say it is, simply don't believe your next thought. But I feel like the first one is good because it clarifies something. Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Muji Baba ki Jai.
Sadguru Shri Ananta-Part ki Jai.